Hey friends, Derek here from Bomb Sucks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So section 74 of the Doctrine and Covenants is kind of a weird section. Can I be that bold? It's kind of odd because what happens in this section is they're actually reading the New Testament and they come across a section of Scripture. They're like, we don't understand this section. It actually says in the section heading, it says, this is given to Joseph Smith in Wayne County, New York in 1830. This could have been very much before the church was even organized. It's kind of put in here in kind of a unique way. Even before the organization of the church, questions had arisen about the proper mode of baptism, leading the prophet to seek answers on the subject. Joseph Smith's history states that this revelation is an explanation of 1 Corinthians 7:14, a scripture that had often been used to justify infant baptism. Well, you go to verse number 1, which is a rehashing of 1 Corinthians 7:14, where it says, "For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now they are holy." So this was used to justify infant baptism. So as I was reading about this a little bit, I came across a commentary from Steven Harper. He is a BYU professor who I think has forgotten more about church history than I will ever know. He's super sharp with this stuff. So let me show you what he said. And I agree with him here. The context of section 74 is mysterious, but the content is a commentary on 1 Corinthians 7:14, where Paul counseled Christian women who were married to Jewish men regarding the tension between their religions when it came to raising children. If there's anybody out there who has done that, you know that when you've got someone who marries someone of a different faith, that when you have children, there's going to come a time where you're like, okay, what do we do with this kid? Especially with regards to things like baptism. You got to understand that. Well, it says, this remarkable revelation makes one think of Joseph's teenage struggles to understand the Bible. The teachers of religion of different sects understood the same passages of Scripture so differently as to destroy all confidence in settling the question by an appeal to the Bible. Joseph had learned then to take his questions to the Lord himself, which is what he's doing here. Section 74, as in several others, the Lord himself interprets the Bible for Joseph. In doing so, he subtly solves an important theological problem that often occurs to parents of 3-year-olds. It concerns original sin. Are mortals sinful by nature or not? Ask a group of Latter-day Saints if they believe that people are inherently evil, and all evidence themselves and their own children aside, they will overwhelmingly say no. Ask the Book of Mormon writers, and you get a different answer. They know and taught that mortals are inherently evil, at least in part, from 2 Nephi 2 and 2 Nephi 4. As the brother of Jared put it, because of the fall, our natures have become evil continually. Though the scriptures are plain on this point, sometimes modern Latter-day Saints underestimate the effects of the fall. Perhaps we fear that it makes us sound too much like other Christians. By being merely born as mortals, we inherently are a sinful nature. We are naturally vicious, selfish, carnal, mean, and often flat out evil. So you can see the problem there. We're like, okay, how do we handle this? Doesn't section 74 say that little children are holy? Yes, they are, but not because they are inherently so. That's a powerful statement. The Revelation says that they are sanctified through the atonement of Jesus Christ. Section 74 teaches us one more of the profundities of Christ's infinite atonement. Since children inherit fallenness helplessly without having exercised any agency in the matter, Jesus Christ atones for them. He sanctifies them, sets them on a course to become free agents at about age 8, if properly taught the law of the gospel. See sections 29 and 68, which talk about that. As long as children are not yet free agents, too helpless to understand or do much about the fallen part of their nature, Jesus sanctifies them according to his will. That is what section 74 teaches. It is beautiful doctrine restored through Joseph Smith, and it resolves an important theological problem. So thank you, Brother Harper, for that little commentary. The idea there is, again, are we inherently evil? The answer is, it depends on where you read, right? Do we have that divine nature, or are we natural men? What's interesting is I've discussed this before. It's kind of like water. Okay, water in and of itself, is it bad or good? The answer is no. It's water. It's not bad or good. Can it be used for good? Yes. Can it be used for bad? Yes. It depends on how it is used. If I was to take water and just pour it all over this right here, it would naturally go to its lowest point, unless it is channeled, unless it is brought into some kind of area, boundaries, if you will. So that's why I love the idea of having commandments. I think we've talked about this in a previous episode, but the idea of commandments, it provides us an opportunity to be able to have those boundaries. Because if not, we will probably go to our lowest point possible. But because we do have that divine nature within us, Jesus Christ helps us through his atonement to become like little children, submissive, meek, humble, patient, full of love, willing to submit to all things the Lord seeth fit to inflict upon them, even as a child does submit to his father. And so this section, again, kind of a unique section, but I like what Brother Harper said about this being something that helps us understand that doctrine just a little bit better. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. Short little message today, but I hope it helped. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing. Godspeed. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.